Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome back once again to Transwest Truck Trailer RV. My name's Mark Love. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about a used 2022 Dutch Star that we just took in. This is a great coach. There's only 5,900 miles on it, and it's the 4310 floor plan, which means it's got bunk beds in there. So really a unique coach. We don't see too many of them used with this low of miles. Let's go ahead and get started and walk around the outside first. First of all, get a shot of these awnings. This has the Girard awning package, which are just great awnings. They come out all the way, cover the whole coach. This one also has the Girard window awnings. Now these are manual. You have a wand. I haven't pulled them down, but you do have the window awnings on it also. And again, this being a Dutch Star, it's on the 8.9 liter engine. We'll talk about that a little bit when we get in the back. 450 horse and about 1,250 foot-pounds of torque with this one. Let's take a look at our compartments. In this first one, we have the refrigerator freezer. One of the things I like about this is this tray pulls out all the way. So that means I can open my lids without it coming back down. And this is a refrigerator or a freezer. And a new addition is this shelf that they started putting in here. Give you some extra storage space. You know, there really wasn't much you could do, with this freezer in here, but now you've got some practical space right there. Okay, in these next couple of compartments, you can see we have some slide-out trays. This one is a full pass-through tray. By the way, right there's that wand for the awning. And then we do get the wider half tray here. And you can see on the back side of that it's open. I kind of like this setup because you lose storage room on the edges and, up from the floor when you put these trays in. So I don't mind having an open compartment in there. And while we're here right now, this is a good place to point out the Star Foundation. You've heard all of us talk about this. It's unique to Newmar. One thing about this Star Foundation, which stands for strong, true, and robust, it gives us a more stable platform to put our tiles in and our heavy residential appliances. If you notice, the floor joists do not sit on the chassis rails. That's one of the beauty of this system. As you're going down the road, you don't get the tweaking and the torquing as much. So you're not going to be cracking tiles and popping the grout. And then over on this side, you see you've got quite a bit of room there. No storage tray in this compartment. We do have our central vacuum, so you can bring your hose out here and clean out your compartments. Another nice feature on this side, you can see we've got a couple of our slide-out controllers. A lot of times, if a slide doesn't seem to be going in or out, if you just unplug this and let it reset, it'll reset itself, kind of like resetting your computer. You also get plenty of 110 outlets on the outside, just very well thought out. And another thing, look at the height of these doors. Look how much storage room you have here. And then in this compartment, of course, we've got our water tank behind there, but I like the pegboard and a couple of trays here for tools or oil or whatever. You'll always find a use for it. We do have a nice, I believe this is a 41-inch TV I walked by here. And a Bose soundbar with it. So nice outside entertainment area. Now, at 43 foot, you do get a tag axle with your Newmars, and this is a steerable tag. And if you take a look at the hubs on these wheels, you can tell they're different. This is what tips you off, that we've got a steerable tag. This will tilt 17 degrees when you're under 20 miles an hour making a turn. So it helps reduce the scrubbing, but it also cuts down on the turning radius quite a bit. You can turn these a lot tighter than most people give them credit for. In these back two compartments, we do have our DEF tank, and you can fill your DEF and your fuel from both sides. Over here you can see we've got our chassis batteries and our master disconnect for the chassis there. Another thing I'll point out while I'm right here, people talk about flush slides, where the fascia here actually tucks inside the sidewall. You can see it with this bathroom door. This is an egress door in there, but it's smooth across here. You don't have an edge, where other companies, the fascia comes in and it overlaps the sidewall. The problem with that is air can get in, especially the front of the slide. It's more likely that water is going to get in there, especially if you're in a driving rain and going 50 miles an hour, you're forcing that wind in there. So when these come in, they completely tuck inside the sidewall, makes it for a quieter ride. You don't hear the wind noise from your slide outs inside. Okay, let's move around to the back, and like I mentioned earlier, this is the 8.9 liter Cummins. It's a 450 horse engine with 1,250 foot-pounds of torque. And you notice there's no radiator here. It is a side radiator, which makes for better cooling. Everything you need to access is right here, as far as your dipsticks, your engine oil, your transmission fluid. You got your water separator here, your air filter. Everything is right here. So if you are the type of person that does a lot of your own maintenance, it's easy to get to. You can see we are set up with a 15,000-pound tow hitch. You have your 7-way plug, and you also have your air connection here if you're pulling with like an Air Force One braking system. Let's move around to the driver's side. Of course, this is your radiator. Side radiators cool much better. You don't get all that dust and debris that, as it circles around the back of the coach, tends to get sucked into the radiator. Here you get better wind. It keeps it blown off better. Much better cooling with the side radiator. Then right here we have the other DEF input here. So you can put your DEF and your fuel in from either side of the coach. One thing I haven't talked about much lately, and let's see if we can get a shot of it. Yeah, over here, if you look up front, this has the V-Ride assembly. Now, the V-Ride just adds for a more stable ride, but there is an adjustment bolt down there near the bottom. So if you need to adjust your axle slightly, or you probably wouldn't do this, it'd be done at a shop, but it's easy to do with that bolt, where other chassis actually weld those in there, so it's hard to make any adjustments that you need. Moving up here, we have our water closet. Again, we have a whole house filter, a power water hose reel. You can see this is equipped with a macerator, but you can dump it the traditional way here with your gravity drain. All of your black tank washout is here. Your auto fill or manual fill when you're putting water in your freshwater tank. And then you have your bypasses right here for when you're going to winterize it. Right here is the tube you'd put into the antifreeze to draw it through. You have a switch here for your pump. You can turn your SaniCon on right there, and you have a nice outside shower. Another thing, look at this door. Check out up here this hinge. As I push it in, you see how that goes up and then it'll drop down. The reason it does that, of course, is we have the Moore floor slide out, so these come out and drop about 4 inches. By designing this door to come out and drop down to clear here, it gives us more clearance in our storage area. Moving up to this compartment, you can see our 50 amp power cord, and that is on an electric reel. You will also have our surge protector and our transfer switch right in there. This is our Oasis system. Now the nice thing about this hydronic heating system, this has 2 electric elements and 1 diesel, where your AquaHots only have 1 electric and 1 diesel. It means you can heat your coach better in colder weather on electric alone, so you're not burning through your diesel quite as fast. Come over here to a storage compartment. And that's the one with the half tray. You can see it leaves you a lot of room here to put your gear and your Tupperware bins in. This is our other pull-out storage tray, and you can pull that out completely from either side. And then up here we have our battery compartment. So what you're seeing there is 8 6-volt AGM batteries. And when I see 8 batteries, that tells me right off the bat, I have an all-electric coach. There is a residential refrigerator and an induction cook surface. And it's either a 2800 or a 3000 watt inverter to run all that. But you've got plenty of power here if you're out dry camping. You don't need to worry about charging them up, you know, a couple times a day. It'll get you through a day or two. You always have your generator with an auto gen start when your batteries get low, so you don't have to worry about running low on battery power. And then this final compartment, this has got a lot of our chassis fuses. So if you have a blinker that's not working or your chair isn't sliding back, probably a fuse in here. Newmar does give you some spare fuses here. This is what we pull to release the front end to access your generator. In fact, let's take a look at that. So right here in the front of the coach, and again, I have the generator running because it's July in Colorado and I think we're already 90 degrees. I want it cool inside, but it's actually rather quiet. This generator has 89 hours on it. Right here, handy little quick connect that ties into your compressor. So if you need to fill the air in your tires or have water toys or something, you have access there. You actually can hook up a hose here too if you want to hose down your unit. Okay, let's go ahead and step inside, take a look at the floor plan. There is a little storage here as you're coming into the coach, which is nice for shoes or gloves or muddy items. Another thing I like to point out is this grab handle. Extremely heavy duty with your keyless entry. As I get older, I appreciate using these getting out in and out of the coaches more. Why don't you go ahead and I'll shut the door behind us. Okay, so I've set the fans on low so it's not quite so noisy in here, but it's much cooler. You know, kick that generator on, turn on your AC. It's only a matter of a few minutes before it really cools down. Okay, while I'm up here, we'll go over the front and some of the dash. First of all, we do have a little storage compartment here. Another 41-inch TV up front. This is our main control panel, and As you see, you know, I've got this set to cool down to 76 already. Over here is the Oasis control I was talking about. And you can see for the AC, the 110 elements, you have 2 there. And then this is your diesel burner up here. If it's very cold and you pull up somewhere, you can turn all of them on. Turn on your diesel burner, turn on both electric elements. It'll heat that water up quicker, help heat the coach up quicker. If it's, say, in the 45, 50 range, you get up, you want a little heat, you could probably do it with electric only there. Have our Magnum Energy Center. This is our inverter. Also, we've got our AGS, you can see right there. With the auto gen start, you can typically set this, you know, maybe 12.2 volts or something like that. Once your battery gets down, it starts up on its own, recharges your battery. Another nice feature about that, say you have pets in here and you're going for a walk on a day like today. Well, when it starts hitting 95 or 100 outside, it's going to get really hot in here if you don't turn your air conditioner on. So you can set that AGS by temperature to turn on automatically and kick on those air conditioners. A really nice feature. And here we've got our Wine Guard satellite. You can see our security lights, you know, satellite system switch. I guess that one's set up over here. Your exterior step, if you don't want it to go in and out all the time. Your LED lights that are below the slide. These are awning controls. Here's our Girard awnings. Now the Girards are 110 awnings. I've got my generator running, so I have power. If not, I would simply kick on my inverter to open those awnings. And then our tank monitors are right here. You know, fresh gray. We've rinsed it out. There's a little bit in the black tank. Gives me my house and my chassis batteries there. Everything conveniently located and really easy to understand. Okay, let's talk about the dash a little bit. Now, this one is equipped with a 360 camera. So you can see our camera system here. If I want to, you know, just look out the back, down one side or the other. And when I hit 360, you can see it's sort of a bird's eye view where we are right here. And you also see out the back as we go through the menu. You notice, you know, you've got your Sirius XM radio. You can Bluetooth in your phone, navigation if you want to, you know, put in directions where you're going. Everything's easy to access right here. And again, very easy to understand. These are all our controls for our shades and our visor. Now that shade will only go down so far when the engine's running. Otherwise at night you can close it completely. And we do have the day shades here. One of the nice things they did a couple of years back is they moved all the controls to your fingertips. So this is where you put it into gear. You can see, well, shift inhibit right now. I don't have the engine on. I just got the ignition power on. But everything's accessible right here. Over on the left side, as I want to go through, you know, some of my gauges or fuel economy or something, I scroll through here. Let me see if I go back, fuel economy. How about my tire pressure? This has got TPMS system right here. So very easy to access once you get used to it. Your hands are always on the wheel. Your eyes are forward. You're not looking down here to the side like you used to when you shift or for other, you know, other features. And then, of course, we do have a 3-speed engine brake up here. That is set over here. We do have our tag axle. We can dump that manually. Now I leave it on auto. What that's going to do is I'm backing up. It's going to release the air pressure from that tag axle. So again, it helps stop with the scrubbing. We have automatic traction control. I can override that. Then of course a window switch right here and our auto levelers. We also have a couple of charging ports for your cell phones, one here and one over on the passenger side. You know, little drawers here for your knickknacks or maps or whatever you need. Again, a really nicely designed cockpit area, very comfortable, great leather seats here. Okay, let's take a look at the floor plan now. Now this coach has 2 couches. This one, it would come down to a jackknife, but your hide-a-bed is over on this side. So when you pull that out, you have a full queen hide-a-bed. They did opt for a couple of the ottomans here, which is a nice feature. We've got great storage over here above the couch. You can see these are open all the way through, which makes it easier to get larger items in here, gives you plenty of storage. We move back here to our dinette area. Now this is a fixed dinette. It does not convert down into a sleeper. And you're going to find that on most of your high-end diesel coaches. You know, the saying is, cocktails for 6, dinner for 4, sleeping for 2. Of course, this one has bunk beds, so I guess you can bring a couple more along, but I don't like to have to make up a table to sit and have coffee in the morning, so I don't mind this being fixed. And again, more storage back here, all open. Really nice hidden hinge hardware and struts. Just a great look. This is the Glacier maple cabinetry. Over on this side, first of all, we do have our televator. I'll go ahead and put that up. So they don't recommend you drive with it up, but you know, I suppose if you got some kids that want to sit here and watch TV, you can pop a movie in or something while you're driving. Some more storage here. You can see these are our video box, and we've got our feeds for, you know, auxiliary lines or satellites. And pretty much everything has gone with the sound bar anymore. You don't see the surround sound system with the subwoofers. Over here in our kitchen area, oh, before we go to that, these are our Mcd Shades. So if you look over here, for example, I'm going to turn this on, and I've got all night shades, and I want to take them up. You know, I can scroll down to my day shades and raise them all at the same time, or I could scroll through and do them one at a time. But you do have the electric Mcd shades. In fact, this coach, I don't normally do this, but I'm going to show you the option sheet. And I don't think there's an option that this coach didn't get. Everything is on there. You can see we've got the Fulton graphics, the Glacier glazed maple, dishwasher in the drawer, the Dometic freezer, all the good options. We've got the Gerard awning package. What's this? The Power Mcd Shades. So $76,000 worth of options. That's quite a bit. And again, this is a 2022, but it is used, so somebody is going to get a great deal on it. Over here in the kitchen, first of all, let's take a look at our true induction 2-burner cook surface. These will work with any metallic pan, anything that a magnet will stick to, including your cast iron. It heats up the pan, it doesn't heat the surface. And you can actually take this out, unplug it, take it outside under your awning and use it to cook outside if you like. There we go. Over here we have our double undermount ceramic sink with residential pull-out faucets. We have some nice storage overhead. This one even has a pull-out drawer, so for some of you women that may be a little shorter and have a hard time reaching the back of the cabinet, you can pull it out and access things very easily here. There is a convection microwave here. Rarely do you see an oven anymore. Most of them opt for the dishwasher, and since I've got my power on, I can open this one. This runs on 110. So you do have a dishwasher as opposed to the oven there. And then we've got some nice full pull-out drawers. As you can see, you get another remote for your MCD. You've got a couple of remote controls for your bed. This is for your Girard awnings here. And for all your TVs, everybody needs a drawer full of remotes. Nice soft close drawers throughout. And these are full pull-outs. So the drawers are actually quite deep. Then over here under the sink, we do have a place for your trash. And boy, this is a little auxiliary tank here. Wasn't aware of that. I'm going to have to do some research on it if you have any questions. Then over here you notice we do have a room to store our lids for the sink and for your cook surface. And then even another little cubby over here. They don't waste any space. This is our residential refrigerator, and this is like an 18.5 or 19 foot. The residential refrigerators have become so efficient that it's practical to run it off your batteries and your inverter. It really doesn't draw that much power. This coach doesn't have any propane. Everything runs on electric. Okay, across from our refrigerator, we've got our pantry. And again, nice full pullouts. Great woodwork throughout all the Newmar coaches. They do this all in-house. Beautiful finishes on them. Okay, as we move back here, now you do have a couple of pocket doors, so you can close off the bunk room and the bedroom with separate pocket doors. And here's our bunks. Now, there are a set of doors that go on here. You can see the hardware. They're made to be removable. The previous owner took it off, but we do have the doors, and we'll put them back in. I can see if you're using this nightly why they might take it off and make it easier for the smaller kids. Another thing I like about this is these bunks are bigger than the average. They're, 32, 34 inches wide. Some of them are only 26 to 28 wide, and they're long enough. I'm not going to lay in this one, but I'm about 5'8", 5'9", and it's long enough for me to lay in it. Okay, across from our bunks we have our half bath. Now, this is a full wall slide bath and a half setup, and this one they put the pocket door on here rather than one that opens. You can see our shower, nice, tile surround in it, and this has the aquamizer. That's what this little gauge is for. There's a light in there, so if I'm going to get ready to take a shower, I turn the water on. As it's heating up, we're actually recirculating the water back into the holding tank, and we're not filling up our gray tank. Once this turns red and the water's hot, I flip the switch. Then it starts coming out the shower. Now it's going down into the gray tank. Now we're using our fresh water. But while you're waiting for it to warm up, you're not wasting water. Very nice feature. And a great, I think they call this the water flow style shower head with a hand wand. And again, plenty of room, even if you're 6'2", 6'4", to get in here and take a shower. And then let me just open up these storage areas and step out of here, give you a chance to get in. Of course, on that upper compartment we have our fuses and breakers. Porcelain bowl toilet there. Another thing they do with this vessel sink that sits on top of the pedestal, it actually gives you a little bit more room. Since counter space is a little bit limited here, it's nice to have that. Okay, as we move back into a bedroom, now one thing you should be aware of, this unit does have a queen bed. You can see on each side of the bed, you have pedestals, and got a little storage there. There is a 110 outlet. You have to kind of get down there to see it. And then you do have USB ports throughout, but you have that outlet on both sides of the bed, so if somebody's got a sleep machine, it's right there. You know, easy to plug it in. And then again, we've got more storage up here. And again, a very deep cabinet, more 110 outlets up there in the overhead. I don't know if you can hear the fan from the air conditioner. It's not very loud, but our AC ducts are under this decorative ceiling panel, which is nice. The way Newmar does it, they run their AC down the middle rather than out on the edges. One beauty of that is if you're in, say, Texas this time of year and it's 110 degrees, I'm probably running my roof ACs off the generator as I go down the road, and it's cooling right down the middle, not out over your slide outs. Okay, under the bed here, we've got our 2 folding chairs for the dinette, and we actually have 2 leaves, so it makes for a very large table. You could probably get 6 or 7 people around there, especially if you put a stool or something at the end of the table. Across from the bed, we've got a little wardrobe area, and again our 4th TV. Everybody needs a slew of TVs when they're camping. Here we've got some more pull-out drawers, soft close. This one here is more for video components and so forth down here. Now, one of the features I want to point out is right here, and it's our in-floor heat. And the way Newmar does it, it's actually an electric heating element that's right in the thin set under the tile. The beauty of that is you're only heating up a little bit of tile when you turn it on to feel the heat. Where the hydronic systems that other companies use, that's a coil that runs under the subfloor. So you've got to heat up maybe 2 to 3 inches of floor before you start to feel that. And the other problem with that, if you have a problem with a hydronic system, a leak or something, it's almost impossible to fix it because you got to come from the bottom up. Here, if there's a problem with one of the zones and you have 3 zones, they can determine that there's a problem right under this tile, an electrical fault, cut that tile out, repair it from the top, put that tile back in there, regrout it. You never knew that they did anything to it. So much easier to fix the electric elements. They are more expensive, just like the Oasis costs more than your AquaHot hydronic heating. The way Newmar builds its walls, it's a hung wall, 16-inch on center. Their processes are a little bit more expensive, but as the slogan, Newmar slogan, when you know the difference, and when you really do, you always end up choosing the Newmar. Maybe I will pay a little bit more, but the quality, the workmanship is well worth it. Okay, let's move back into the bathroom now. Now, typically on a 43-footer, you'd get a double sink. Because this is a bunkhouse and it pushes everything this way, that may be why they have the queen bed, you only get a single sink. But there is plenty of room in this bathroom. You can see here we've got more wardrobe space down on the bottom. Those are the hoses and components for our central vacuum. See if you got a safe in there also. And this unit's unique in that it has 2 showers, both with the Aquamizer feature. This one's got the teak seat. Over here, Underneath, we've got a little bit more storage. A couple of drawers here. We have a storage drawer underneath our wardrobe area. And then, of course, we have our washer and dryer here. Now, these shades are like the ones in the bunk room. They're electric, but you have a button right there to open and close them. And one of the really nice features of the Newmars, they put an egress door in. Let me see. There we go. Just needed a little help. So as I open that door, if I were to pull off this panel, there's actually a ladder in there that drops down. But if you ever have to exit your motorhome quickly, most of them have an emergency exit in the window in the bedroom. I'd much rather go out here feet first with a ladder. And again, we have another... Oh. Give me a... There we go. And then also, these are made to be removable. If you're in a hurry to get out, you don't want to get hooked up on your valance here, so you can pull this right off, get it out of the way. Again, it's a porcelain toilet, Dometic toilet. Here's all your controls. This is your aquamizer switch. Got your ceiling fans overhead. Plenty of room back here for a couple of people and, you know, 2 or 3 kids if you need to sleep that many. So let me see. There's always something I forget when I get done, but feel free to contact me or ask me any questions. Let me get my contact info here. Once again, this is a 4310 Dutch Star bunkhouse. It's a 2022, 5,900 miles. My name's Mark Love. Here's my contact info. Probably my cell phone, 970-631-0083 is the best way to get a hold of me. We've got a little bit more inventory now than we did last year, so if you're in the market or have any questions, please reach out to us. Once again, thanks for tuning in. I'm Mark Love, and till next time, friends, happy trails. We'll see you down the road.